Hi, my name is Amanda Finkenthal, and I'm going to be presenting on the short story, The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. This short story is about a husband and a wife who move into a new house where there's a room with a yellow wallpaper. The husband is a physician, so he's a doctor, and he constantly tells his wife that she has depression and a slight hysterical tendency. He tells her that she needs to take medication, she needs to stay at home and not work, and she tells her that she can't even write. So she continues to stay in this room with the yellow wallpaper, and she becomes a little bit insane because of it. So one of the main points that I found in this short story is the lack of expressing one's emotions can cause self-destruction to one's mental health. So in other words, if you don't express your emotions, it can cause a lot of self-destruction. It's hard to keep your emotions in. So the first observation that I found talks about listening to authority. So when I talk about this, I am saying that high authority pretty much tells you what you need to be in a stable state. However, you might know in your head that it's not the best thing for you. A quote that I found that goes along with listening to authority is, if a physician of high standing in one's own husband assures friends and relatives that there is nothing the matter with one's but temporary nervous depression, a slight hysterical tendency, what is one to do? So I take the phosphates and phosphites and am absolutely forbidden to work until I am well again. Personally, I disagree with their ideas, but what is one to do? So the wife continues to take the medication. She continues to stay at home, and she continues to stay in a single room because her husband and other people tell her to do that. Since her husband is a physician, he is an authority figure to her when it comes to health. So she stays in a room because of what he tells her to do. The next quote that goes along with listening to authority is, the repairs are not done at home, and I cannot possibly leave town just now. Of course, if you were in any danger, I could and would, but you really are better, dear, whether you see it or not. I am a doctor, dear, and I know. You are gaining flesh and color. Your appetite is better. I feel much easier about you. So the husband feels a lot easier about his wife. However, he keeps her in this room, still continuously tells her that she can't work, that she can't move out of this room, and he makes a decision of not moving from their home. The wife wants to move because she doesn't like staying in a single room. She doesn't like staying in a room with yellow wallpaper. But the husband tells her that she needs to stay here because she needs to be in a stable spot so that she could be in a stable state. The second observation I found is, when everyone seems to be against one's beliefs, you may have trouble expressing what they truly feel. So in other words, if somebody has a belief and everybody is completely against what their belief is, they have trouble expressing it. I know if I had a belief and I knew everybody else wouldn't believe it, I know that I would have a lot of trouble expressing it as well. So the quote that I found to go along with this is, I cry at nothing and cry most of the time. Of course I don't when John is here, or anybody else, but when I'm alone. So the narrator, which is the wife, feels that she can cry when she's alone because she knows that to her emotions are valid. However, when anybody else is there or when her husband's there, she cannot express her emotions because her husband or other people completely diminish her emotions and tell her that her emotions are invalid. The third observation that I have talks about feminism. So women can be dictated by male genders of the decisions they make. So in other words, as you have seen throughout my presentation, the husband continuously makes decisions for her. So a quote that I found that goes along with the theme of feminism: "My brother is also a physician and also of high standing." And he says the same thing. So her brother, which is a male, and which is also someone of authority when it comes to health, says the same exact thing, that she needs to be staying in one spot to be stable. And he pretty much makes the decisions along with her husband, who also makes the decisions. She doesn't make any decisions or take action on anything that she wants to be doing. The second quote that I found to go along with feminism is, "Sometimes I think there are a great many women behind, and sometimes only one. And she crawls around fast, and her crawling shakes it all over. She is all the time trying to climb through, but nobody could climb through the pattern it strangles so. I think that is why it has so many heads." So to break this quote down a little bit, so first it talks about how there are a great many women behind, and sometimes there's only one. So in other words, she feels like sometimes all women feel this way, and sometimes she feels like it's just her. And when it talks about the patterns, I believe that it talks about the gender roles that we have in society. So the gender roles that we have in society are hard to break through. So the women are trying to break through the gender rules, however, they just can't get through it. I would like to end with this quote by Sigmund Freud: "Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways." Thank you.